Honorable Adjudicator, ladies and gentlemen, today I will be talking about debate. The topic for our debate is the House will legalize online worship site. However, we agree with the definitions given by affirmative team because, in my opinion, is online worship is one the easy ways to anticipate the spread of the virus that are currently spreading everywhere, so that face-to-face worship is abolished as online worship, and the government also appealed to the public to remain vigilant of virus for their safety. So today, as first speaker, I will be talking to you about my points, and my first point is for utilizing social media and advances in digital technology as an alternative to direct encounters. This is because with the existence the online worship of social media, we can easily do online worship without having to face to face and use social media well. And the view of online worship can make it easier for people who are unable to attend or people who are sick. So the government allows it to do online worship. One example of the benefits of online worship is to do live streaming through technology that is done in every house of worship. And besides that, there is also technology to develop a church conducted in various churches, such as in the Jakarta area. So with the technology for online worship, not online, just use during worship, but also utilize technology. And the second point is reduce the spread of the coronavirus and to keep a distance so that the coronavirus does not spread. As you know, coronavirus now become a pandemic that spread to almost all countries. With all countries in the world. With the extent of the online worship, we can avoid the name coronavirus because we know beforehand, and the government also invites used to do online worship. Not only worship, but we also, one of the examples is to keep the social distance between citizens, and this has had an impact on the implementations of religions worship in Australia. And up to now, some of the religious community in Australia, including the Indonesian community, have directed activities in house of worship or into worship online is done by the Indonesian Christian Church. And so, in my conclusion is for our debate is so whatever or way to deal with a problem, of this, if it is good, then it must to be done. And online worship is better than no worship at all. It's better to wait until the right time to worship offline again. Okay, that's all my presentation for our debate. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable and Adjudicator, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is the house will legalize online worship site. I want to rebut the team speaker. Team speaker one, team affirmative. Team affirmative, team affirmative speaker one said, with the online worship site, it can make it easier for people who are unable to attend. This is wrong because many someone who doesn't who don't have internet signal, especially especially who live in their village. And nowadays the community is burdened with online worship site. Today, me as speaker one, I will be talking about communication limitation and internet limitation. And the second speaker will be talking about the online worship site is truly illegal. So, my first argument is communication tool limitation. The existence of online worship site make people burdened because our online worship requires requires a tool called communication. While there are some people who don't have communication tool. For example, only people who are elderly, uh, they rarely use communication tool, even don't have. If the online worship site if the online worship site illegalize certainly make them uneasy and start being uneasy because they have to understand the feature that are available in this communication tool. Not to mention the people who has economy is limited. For them to eat alone is difficult. Let alone by communication tool, they cannot eat. They cannot eat. While the poverty rate in Indonesia is very high now. From BPS data in March 2019, on average, per household in Indonesia had 4.68 4.68 house members. Therefore, the average poverty line per household is an average of 90.170. That per and per one. Well, with this data, it has shown is it has shown that the level of poverty in Indonesia and is still high. So I don't agree with the topic. I don't agree with the government legalized online worship site. that really makes people burden it. So this online worship site has a bad impact and poor has bad impact on poor people who are less able. And my second point is internet and signal limitation. If the government wants to legalize online wants to legalize online worship site, it is better for the government to be aware of the condition of the remote. In the aware of the condition of the remote in the country, concluding the village area. They are still struggling to find signal and internet because it is difficult to reach in terms of signal strength of the internet. Don't just really on the city area because Indonesia is fast. So if you want to make wisdom, it will be good to be equally equal and think about the solution if there are still obstacles in implementing that wisdom. Not a fear of them have to find a high price before there is a signal which is not small. So they sell they sell at high price and is different from the city. It really makes them feel burdened by the condition or economic limitation. So we have to think about the we have we have to think about the impact before before doing something. And that's all. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I am as the second speaker of affirmative team. Firstly, I want to rebut the speaker one of opposite team. You said that in your second point, that is internet and signal limitation in villages or remote area that is far from city center. So, in my opinion, for those who have difficulty for reaching signal is they can perform worship manually or normally. Here, worship is obligatory. Then if they cannot perform online worship, so the choice is just do worship normally and manually. Afterwards, in your first point, you also said that for all the people who will be burdened using communication tools. We know that the problem is we cannot force anyone to do worship. According to me, of course, all the people have children and grandchildren, and so these older people can enjoy technology and do online worship with the help of their children and grandchildren. And this is a story for older people in their old age. Well, in this motion, that is, the government would legalize online worship site. I have one point for this, namely, make it easier for everyone to do online worship. Online worship does not require to gathering each other or with many people. However, online worship is performed at each home according to the direction given by the leader. Oh, many fellowship of worship in Indonesia, especially fellowship of churches, will count positively and support to limit mobility population included worship. As we know, at this moment, by the spread of COVID-19, government should legalize online worship site because online worship has many benefits, which is we can avoid pandemic coronavirus. Just mention the cause that they are touching face to face with close distance and mouth communication. It has clear unknown to us, and it doesn't appear that the pandemic is spreading. So with the existing online worship site, we able to utilize of social media, digital technology, or it can be broadcast through video streaming. For example, there are several churches in Indonesia that have implemented e-church. Therefore, anyone who wants to do online worship can join the site. Besides that, we don't need to spend a lot of time walking to the place of worship and also energy. We just simply stay at home, and it would be more effective for those of us who have less free time. Basically, online worship does not feel religious, such as prayer in Islam, Mass in Christianity, and others. In addition, many people feel touched and grateful by online worship site because there are still adequate religious facilities to make it easier for everyone. As a government team, we assume that the online worship site should be legalized if only gathering congregation to worship God at the same time. Of course, through this online worship is already enough. And with this online worship, we give opportunities for people to do worship in order to get peace, comfortable, and calm. So, because of that, we strongly propose that government should legalize online worship site. Thus, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, online worship site should legalize because it brings many benefits and doesn't harm the time, economy, mind, and energy. And that's all about this motion. Thank you for the time.
Okay. Uh, Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and the judges. I want to rebut the government's opinion. First, the government said internet or online worship site can make easy the follower to pray without having to the pray place such as church, mosque, temple, or else. From this statement, I'm really disagree about this statement. Why? To make sure our prayer direct to our God. It better to pray to go to the praying place, to the mosque or the church. And the second thing why I disagree about this statement, because the government cannot take responsible to make sure the religion follower is really do the pray without having to with this worship site. Is the government take responsible? Is the government make sure their follower can pray at the home using the internet connection? But if we pray to the praying place like a mosque, church, or temple, it we must pray indeed. But if we pray if we pray with the online worship site, we don't know the follower will pray or not because the busy activity or else. And the third point is I'm really disagree because Indonesia is the archipelago country. There is a lot of island. Let's see in Sumatra. Yeah, we know in Sumatra have a good connection. But what if in the, let's see, in Nias Island? Nias Island have a very bad connection. To make to make pray it's going well with this online worship site, we need the very good connection, very good connection to make sure the prayer is going well. But we don't have it. We don't have the good connection. If with the geographic condition, Indonesia geographic condition, it costs a lot of money to make the internet super fast internet, super very good internet. And if Indonesia can make it very good internet, it's okay to make a online worship site. Yeah, it's still forgiven. And the other thing, the government brings the coronavirus issues. From this thing, we know the religion Indonesia religion minister already spread the disinfectant to each the praying place, like a mosque, a church, and temple. We know that each mosque and church and temple in Indonesia already spread from disinfectant to make to disappear this virus. So there is no reason the follower not going to the temple or the church or the mosque. There is no reason to not pray in that praying place. Yeah, we still can pray with the using mask, and we wash our hand, especially in Islam, or before pray they always wudu. And can maybe the Christianity or Buddha or Hindus followers can wash their hands or put the sanitizer outside their praying place. That's why I think this online worship sites cannot be held in Indonesia, because the important point, the government cannot guarantee, cannot make sure their followers will pray or not. If the government can make sure it, I think it's impossible, because we have a lot of activities, right? But that's why I think, because that impossible thing, the government it will not will cannot make it sure the follower will pray with online way. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
To be honest, the government does things like online worship for public safety. So even though the condition of the area is difficult to reach, but they can worship at home with family.
Yeah, but what about the smoothness of the internet signal? Can they still attend worship smoothly?
I believe, how about people who don't do online worship at all?
Okay, I'll answer Ria this question. How about people don't do online worship? Online worship. Yeah, it's simple. If they don't do the online worship, just go the nearest worship place, like nearest mosque or nearest church, and pray direct to the God. Okay, thank you.
PI please. You say make it easier for everyone to do online worship site. But the obstacles of someone doing online worship are also many. For example, the limitation of quota and signal.
If that's so, I want to say that government must build a digital ecosystem and present a multifunctional satellite that can pursue technology development like in the city center.
PI Riyadi, it will cost a lot considering the geographical condition of Indonesia because online worship requires a good network so that wisdom in worship. Thank you.
Even though some places don't have internet connections, but worship can be done anywhere or at home.
POI please, what if the government facilitates internet and a strong signal in remote areas or villages? Isn't that enough to facilitate online worship?
Is it possible for the government to have adequate internet signal while until now there has been no evidence that government is adequately satisfied with the internet in the suburb regions? Thank you.
POI please, it means you close yourself in the development of technology 4.0. It's evident that everything is online, so this online worship site is utilized to facilitate worship and anything.
In Indonesia, 4.0 industry only can help in the big city like Jakarta, Makassar, Surabaya, Padang, or else. But what happened in a small in village like uh, let's see we call it Mentawai, Kepulauan Seribu, or else and Madura or something else like something place like that. It cannot spread it very well, the industry 4.0, and because why the internet access is very slow at that area. In big city, the in big city sometimes the internet connection is have some trouble, and we cannot do it access very well, and because the geographic condition in Indonesia is the archipelago country, and it means it have a thousand of island, and the internet is not spread very well, and in villagers too, even some people know the internet, but it dominates by the young person, young people, I mean, but the older cannot understand what is internet means because it less education. That's why I think the online worship site in Indonesia is not effective because the internet needs more knowledge, especially for the elders. The elders. Thank you. POI, please. Why the government think this epidemic in negative way, not think in positive way like COVID-19 as improvement in cleanliness aspect. Thank you.
Because the government wants the safety of the community to be maintained and protected from COVID-19.
POI, please. Is the government can take responsibility to make sure the followers still do pray without having to go to praying place like church, mosque, and else. Thank you.
It could be because we were ordered to worship in order to understand what was done, and online worship is only alternative way to do worship.